Welcome to Iterative Coder. In today's video, we are going to discuss control flow statements in Go. So basically, control flow statements defines the execution order that compiler needs to follow while executing the code. Suppose we have a five number of statements. So control flow statements tells which statements need to be executed in what step. Suppose at step 1 we need to execute line number 4, and then at the step 2 we need to jump at line number 2. So here control flow statement works and defines the execution order. Control flow statements are similar to the other programming language as we have in Java and Python. In Go language, some statements are being added and some are removed. So if we talk about Go programming language, we have various type of control flow statements. First is decision making statement. Decision making statements, we provide a specific type of condition, and if the condition is valid, then it will execute a particular block of code. In decision making statements, we have if and if else. Given condition is valid, then it will execute the if block, otherwise it will execute the else block. Next statement is selection statement, in which we provide number of cases, and whatever the case is exist, it executes that particular block of code. As in a selection statements, we have switch case. With the use of switch, we provide the number of values and it will match that the particular value. Suppose we have a value 1, and in switch case we have a possible value from 1 to 10. So first it will match the value, and whatever the case it will match, it will execute that particular block of code. Next statement is iterative statement. In iterative statement, we have for loop. Iterative statements are used to execute a particular block of code repeatedly multiple times. It executes a particular block of code. It totally depends on the given condition that how many times we want to execute that particular block of code. With next statement, we have jump statement. In jump statement, we have multiple statements like break, continue, fall through, and go to. We will see the description of these statements later. So let's start the description of these statements programmatically. First statement is decision making. Here I am using Golang ID, and I have created a file where I am using if statement. So here I have a variable a that contains value 70, and I am putting a condition that if a is greater than 10, then I need to print that value is greater than 10. So I will execute this code. Here we are getting values greater than 10. Now if I change the value to 5, and we'll see what difference it will make. Now we are not getting this statement that says value is greater than 10. So here the condition is invalid. Now I will use the else block. So here I am using else block. So if the value will be less than 10 and the condition will get invalid, it will print value is less than 10. Let's see, does it print or not. Here we are getting the output as value is less than 10. So here in this code we are working with one condition. We can put the multiple condition with if statement, like with the use of operator, although we will see the use of operator in next video. So the second condition I am putting as on dividing a by 2, if I get the remainder as 0, I need to print that value is greater than 10. Let's check the output. Okay, so here we have value as 5, that is not even greater than 10, and not even we are getting the remainder as 2. So the condition will get false and it will execute the else block. Now I am changing the value, and according to this condition value is greater than 10, and if we divide the value by 2, then we'll get the remainder as 0. So it is getting the output as value is greater than 10. If I put the value as 25 and run the code, what we are getting is value is less than 10, because although we have a value that is greater than 10, but the second condition will get false in this case. So that's why it will go to else block and will print this output. So this is about the decision making. If else statement. Next statement is selection. Here we have a switch statement. So in this code, we have a variable that contains a value 10, and within this switch statement, we have defined multiple cases that will execute a specific block of code for multiple values. So if we are getting the value as 10, it will execute this code because the value matches with this case. Similarly, if we are getting value 20, then this particular code is executed, and if we have value 30, then this particular print statement will get executed. And so here we have an additional case that is default. The purpose of the default case is that if the value doesn't exist within this defined cases, then it will execute this default block of code. If we have value as 0, then none of these cases will match and it will jump to the default case and execute this particular line. Currently I am having the value 10 here. Let's run the code. So here in output I am getting value is 10. Let's change the value to 30. And yes, once it gets the match case, it will not check the other cases and will come out of this switch block. Suppose it gets the first case matched, so it will print the statement as value is 10. Now it will not check that whether the value is 20 or not, whether the value is 30 or not, but after executing this particular statement, it will come out of this particular switch block here. So here I am checking value. Here I have changed value as 30. Now to make it more understandable, I will print the statement here. And here I am printing out of loop. We run the code. Now I had value 30 here. First case will not get matched because the value we have defined here is 10, but the actual value we have 30. This case is also invalid. Now coming to the third case, value get matched and it prints the statement value is 30. Now it is coming out of the switch loop, and here we are printing out of loop, or we can say out of switch statement. Now I am taking value as 40. Let's see what it will print. So in this case it says that value is 40 out of switch statement. Okay, we can check the flow. So the value is, we have the case is 10, that is the invalid case. Another case is of 20, again invalid. Again case is 30, it is also invalid. Now it will skip to the default statement where what we are doing, we are just printing the value that says value is 40. So this is all about switch statement. Let's jump to the next one. Next, in iterative statements, we have a for loop. So for loop is used to execute a particular block of code multiple times. How many times we need to execute a block of code, it totally depends what condition we are giving within this for loop. So here I am giving the condition from 1 to 10, and I am going to print the value from 1 to 10. So instead of using this particular line 10 times, I have given the condition from 1 to 10 and write this particular code within this for loop. So this for loop will execute this particular code 10 times. That depends on this condition. Let's understand the code by running this code. So here we have an output. Value is 10, 2, value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. prints the value 10 times. This is the use of for loop. In Golang, particularly we do not have any while statement, but we can use the for loop with the same purpose as we use while. As we can give the condition here that a is less than 5, and we can define a variable here a that contains value 1, and within this I need to print the value that is a, and after that I will increment this value. So the output is this, value is 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this way we can use for loop with the same purpose as while statement. Other than that, we can use for loop in another way also. Suppose we have an array. Okay. Suppose we have an array that contains the value of type string. Now I am iterate over this array. I am taking two variables, index and value. In index, I am getting the index of that particular value, and in value variable, I am getting the value. Range keyword I am using here that will iterate over an array ARR. Now I will print the index and the value both. So simply I am going to print the index and value. Run this code. So here we have index 0 and the value ABC. Same goes with another two item also. So this is the use of for loop. In multiple ways we can use this particular iterative statement in Go. Next is jump statement. In jump statement we have break first. So break statement is used to come out of the loop at the early stage without completing the complete loop. So as here in for loop, I am going to execute this particular line 10 times. And now after executing this statement 5 times, I want to come out of this loop. So I will give here a condition that if I is equal to 5, I want to come out of this loop. So I will use break statement here. Let's run this code. So here it executes the loop 5 times for value 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and as it matches with this condition where I is equal to 5, it will see the break statement we have given here and it will come out of this for loop. Next statement is continue statement. Continue statement is used to skip a particular iteration. Suppose if I is equal to 5, I do not want to iterate this code, but for other values I want to execute it. Suppose for value 5, I do not want to execute this code, but for other values I need to execute it. So for this particular condition, I will use continue statement. So here when it finds the value 5, it will skip this particular iteration and will not execute this particular code. Let's run the code. So here what it does, it is executing for value 1, 2, 3, 4, but when it finds value as 5, it finds a continuous statement and it skips that particular iteration and will continue for the next iteration, that is for value 6. Next 7, 8, 9 and 10, it perfectly works and will come out of the loop here. Next statement is go to statement. is an unconditional jump statement where we define label and we jump on that label according to our need. Yeah, I have this code. So what I am doing, I have used for loop as previously we were doing, and within this for loop, I have defined a label run me. Within this, I am going to print executing goto statement, and goto keyword I am using to jump to this run me label. Let's run this code. So what it is doing, it will first print the value. Now it finds instruction to jump on this run me label. Then it will print this particular statement, executing goto statement. Again, it will start for the next iteration, that is for value 2, and the same process will goes on. Although goto statement is not preferable in Go language, because the drawback with goto statement is that once we jump to that label, it start executing from that referred label. Suppose I'm defining this label here out of this for loop. So the scope is okay, but what it will do, for the first iteration, it will get the instruction to jump on this label, and now it will come out of this for loop. It will not again iterate within this for loop. Let's see. So here what it does, it first print the value, now it get the instruction to jump on this label, it jumps and print this statement, executing goto statement. Now it will not go back with this loop, but it will come out and here it will get the exit block and it will exit the code. So that's why there are some cases where a goto statement is not preferable. Next statement is fall through. Fall through statement we are going to use with switch case. So as we saw with this selection statement, that if we get the value 10 here, then it will go to that particular case and will execute that particular block of code. As here we have value 10, so it will execute this statement and it will not check for the other cases. But with the for loop statement, we are giving the instruction to execute the case that is just next to the valid case. So here the valid case is this. So with the use of fall through, we are giving the instruction to execute the next case that is for value 20, and it will skip the next upcoming cases. So I have used fall through within this statement. I'll run the code. So here what it does, value we have is 10, it matches with the case, execute this particular statement, value is 10. Now it gets for the statement that is giving the instruction that it needs to be execute the next case, whether we are getting the condition true or not, it doesn't depend, but because of for the statement we have given here, it will jump to the next case and will execute this particular block of code. So here it is printing value is 20 also. So this is the use of for loop statement. We have covered all the control statements here, the decision making, selection, iterative and jump statement. So that's it for now. In next video, we'll discuss Golang operators. Thank you.